Hey, boys and girls, Squee913 here, and welcome to another Thoughts Behind the Wheel. I'm actually very happy. After only one day, I've had lots of people watch and leave very good comments, very extensive comments, or to the point where YouTube will allow. I'll definitely have to set up that section in the forum for you guys so you can debate me more thoroughly, as I'm sure you're wont to do. I want to make this very, very clear, and I think I've always been pretty good about this. I don't think my opinions are end-all be-all. When I express thoughts like that, I'm more looking for conversation and kind of for someone to prove me wrong, because, I mean, obviously I don't think I'm wrong. If I did, I would change my opinion. But the idea that someone could shine a new light on things and make me look at things in a different perspective is part of the fun. That's why you do it. So, you know, if no one does that, then what's the point of doing this? Anyway, the point I'm saying is do not hesitate to debate or to take a counter view. I love that. And I will never, berate you for that. I should make one thing clear from last night. Obviously, either you guys didn't understand or I wasn't clear enough. Probably me not being clear enough, considering, it's me. But when I was referring yesterday about Twilight or something being good, if it was successful and made a lot of money, it was good, I didn't mean that you had to like it or you had to think it was a good story. And I was very hesitant to use the word good. I was just having trouble coming up with the proper word I should use. What I meant was it was good at doing what it wanted to do. For example, if you have, I don't know, say a fire extinguisher, you may not like the fire extinguisher, you may think the design sucked, you may think the color was bad, but if it is good at putting out fires, then it is a good fire extinguisher. It is good at doing what it was designed to do. That's what I meant when I said that if a story is popular and makes lots of money, then it's a good story. I didn't mean that people have to like it or like that style of story. I simply meant that you can't say it was fundamentally a bad story. The problem was, the thing I was arguing against is people, perfect example. Just because something is successful doesn't mean it's a good story. Look at Transformers 3, that made tons of money and that movie was crap. That's what I was arguing against. I personally love Transformers 3. Now, to be fair, I didn't go to Transformers 3 expecting an epic narrative. I went to Transformers 3 expecting to see a bunch of robots beat the crap out of each other, and that's exactly what I got, and I loved it. But I understand a lot of people did not like Transformers 3. Okay, that's fine. But Transformers 3 was very good at doing what it was trying to do, which was entertain people. It wasn't really trying to be Shakespearean or some epic saga like Lord of the Rings. Really, what it was trying to do is dazzle you with outstanding graphics of robots beating the crap out of each other. So that's why it was so popular. That's why it spent so much money, and so it was a good movie in that respect. My argument was that a lot of people think that just because they thought something was crap or it didn't follow their way or their standards, then it was fundamentally flawed. It was bad as a movie. It wasn't. It was good as a movie, as shown by its success. It just wasn't good as a movie you would like. That was my point. Not that you should like it or anything. Twilight books isn't a story you have to like. I hate the story. But it was a good story in the fact that it did what it wanted to do very well. Also, someone said that the writing isn't completely subjective because you do learn rules in school. You'll find later that those are more suggestions than anything. Many of my college papers do not follow those rules at all. And well, okay, yeah, I'm going to brag on this one. I'm not going to even lie. Every single paper I have ever written for college, post-grad or undergrad, has been an A. Every single one. So I know what I'm talking about. Papers do not have to follow the guidelines you're given in school. They're just really good ideas. You can have a paper that has a thesis at the end of the paper, for example, instead of at the end of the opening paragraph. Or not even have a thesis at all. I don't suggest it, but it is possible, and I have seen it. There are guidelines that you should follow, but those are just that. guidelines. Just because a story doesn't have a main hero or something like, for example, a story has to have conflict. Those are pretty hard, fast rules. Like, for example, you need a protagonist, you need an antagonist, you need a conflict. And the reason why it says that is not because you must have these things, but because 9 times out of 10, without these things, the story is not enjoyable. If you could write a story that was enjoyable without a protagonist, antagonist, or a conflict of some sort, then it's still a good story. Excuse me, wow. So you have to understand that they are guidelines. Same thing with the movie. Anyway, where was I? I'm losing my train of thought here. By the way, one of you, I wanted to thank you. I wish I could look up your name, but I'm kind of driving at the moment, so I can't. But you helped me feel better about these because I remember I told you guys that I was hesitant to do this because it seemed kind of arrogant, like why would people care what I think? And he said not to look at it like that, to look at it like this. I am sitting down with some friends, who are you, by the way, and talking, sharing my thoughts on a particular subject. There's nothing arrogant about that. And you guys are responding. It's no different than if we were sitting in a living room chatting it up. And that actually makes me feel a lot better about this. So, yeah, thank you to you. So, now to get to a more important topic of today, now that I've got that covered. Hang on. Okay, as a lot of you know, and some of you may not, yesterday, I believe, the American government arrested or took down Mega Upload, the video site. I'm sure you all know what Mega Upload is or was, and arrested 5 of its senior staff members for copyright infringement and several other counts. And in retaliation to this, basically a world-wide group of hackers by the name of Anonymous launched an attack on several government websites and entertainment websites. For example, most notably, they brought down the Department of Justice website and made threats to attack the FBI website. As far as I know, they didn't actually attack the FBI website. They just made threats to basically take the website offline like they did with the Department of Justice. And they did so to the same to other movie company websites and the Utah police. Don't ask me why the Utah police, but the Utah police as well. And several government websites and entertainment websites. For example, most notably, they brought down the Department of Justice website and made threats to attack the FBI website. As far as I know, they didn't actually attack the FBI website. They just made threats to basically take the website offline like they did with the Department of Justice. And they did so to the same to other movie company websites and the Utah police. Don't ask me why the Utah police, but the Utah police as well. And it was in retaliation for the government taking down Mega Upload and this whole SOPA drama thing. And I wanted to talk about that because on my forums there's a debate going like, yeah, Anonymous did the right thing, and that kind of shocks me. Now, huzzah for timelines. I understand your frustration. I really do. I know you spent a lot of time and effort on my Lone Wolf audiobooks, and thank you so much for that, and then putting them up on Mega Upload just to have them all taken away when they shut Mega Upload down. But there are proper ways to respond to things, and not. First of all, Mega Upload, now I think the American government overreacted. I don't think they should have arrested them in other countries like they did, perhaps fine them. But Mega Upload was in the wrong, or at least, let me put it this way, there was probable cause to penalize them. Not only, it wasn't just that they had copyrighted material, everyone has copyrighted material, but that they actively denied or turned a blind eye to copyright holders when they requested these videos be taken down. They did not try at all to police their websites for copyrighted material. And like I said, they even just ignored people when they asked for it to come down. There is also reason for the government to believe that they even encouraged people who they knew uploaded copyrighted material to upload it and then promoted it through third-party web pages by paying them money. In other words, not only did they not try to prevent copyrighted product, but they actively encouraged the uploading of copyrighted product to make them more money. That's wrong. There's no two ways about it. That is wrong and illegal, and they deserve to be punished for it. Did the government overreact? Yeah, probably. But what's the difference between them and YouTube? YouTube tries its best to keep copyrighted material from being displayed, or, that's not being used by fair use policy like us Let's Players do. There's a big difference. Let's Players like me, we're generally covered under fair use because, for several reasons. A, we are creating our own experience. In other words, you can't duplicate our experience when you play the game because it's by the nature of it being a video game. B, it's transformative because we're adding commentary to it. C, it's for educational and entertainment purposes. And all those things come together to where we're covered under fair use. However, if you just, for example, uploaded a blockbuster movie to YouTube, that's not transformative because it's going to be the same if you buy a DVD, it's going to be the same experience, as opposed to watching me play a game, which is different than if you played it. So that's illegal and that's wrong, and YouTube does its best to stop this. Mega Upload encouraged it. At least they're accused to have encouraged it. They haven't been proven guilty yet, but that's what they're accused of. And if you're accused of it, that's probable cause for you to be punished, or to at least be taken to court to be punished for it. So I have no problem with them being punished, or even the site being ridiculed. Did the government go too far? Yeah, probably. I don't know if they should have gone that far. But here's the big problem. Anonymous is not helping anything, and you should not encourage them, because basically it's the same. I made this analogy in my forum. Okay, the government shut down Mega Upload. So you go take down the Department of Justice's website. What kind of sense does that make? First of all, the Department of Justice website is a huge website. It doesn't just cover the one group of people who took down Mega Upload. It encompasses a whole bunch of people. It'd be like a judge passing down a sentence that you didn't like, so you'll go out and punch some random cop in the face. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't help anything. It only hurts. You might say, well, it raises awareness. No, it doesn't. It raises anger, and it makes people scared. Not only are you getting the government mad at you, which is not going to help anything. It's not like the government's suddenly going to go, oh my God, they hacked our systems. Perhaps we should be less harsh on piracy now. That's not going to happen. And you're scaring the general population, because now the general population is losing their faith in the ability for the government to protect their own websites. And you might say, on one hand, well, it's good because it points out holes in them. No, it's not good, because holes will always be there for very intelligent people to exploit. But by shaking people's belief that the government can secure them, all you're doing is scaring common people that have no right to be scared. This isn't really helping anything. And it makes it harder for our government to do its job, to do the things that actually do help people. For example, the website, Department of Justice website, has a link in there to report crimes. Now, what if someone wanted to report a violent crime? Or let's say they take down the FBI website and someone thought they might have seen someone on the top 10 wanted list and tried to go to the FBI website to verify. And they can't, because Anonymous took the website down. So you can't report the crime. You can't check this guy out. You can't go to the FBI and see if this thing that someone's trying to do to you is a scam or not. This hurts you. It hurts you. And it hurts their ability to do their job. The good job, not the crappy job that apparently, some people think they're doing. Now, you might be saying, well, if there was a violent crime to report, call 911. Yes, I understand these are unlikely scenarios, but the fact is, it could happen. Someone could have tried, or if the website gets taken down, perhaps they lose some sort of important information on a dangerous person and something bad happens. The point I'm making is nothing good can come of a bunch of hackers attacking the Department of Justice website. No good can come from that. Explain to me, someone, if there is any good that can come from that. Because as far as I can see it, it's basically a completely irrational response to something they did not like. Oh, well, they did something they didn't like, so we're going to go slap them in the face, and that'll show that we're really cool. I don't understand this, and I really don't think anyone should support this. If you are angry against SOPA and all that stuff, there are proper channels to go through. And people are saying proper channels don't work. I beg to differ. The blackout that the internet had a couple days ago, Wikipedia and others, and thousands of small websites where they blacked themselves out in protest to SOPA, had an immediate and effective impact. And I'm not talking about just the huge corporations, everything. It was reported, I forget the actual numbers, but it was reported that the number of people in Congress opposed to the bill jumped from around 30 to over 130 just from the blackout, or after the blackout, which will make it really hard to get the majority needed to pass the bill. And today, Congress has just announced that the bill has been tabled until further notice, which were all a direct result of the internet blackout. So please, someone correct me if there's some good that'll come out of that other than just, oh, we stuck it to the man. Woo! You know, the same man that, you know, we don't like him, but he's the reason why we get to enjoy our happy, safe lives. Because, you know, the cops do such a horrible job that we have thousands and thousands of violent criminals that would be murdering people on the streets today in jail because of the horrible job that our government does. You know, so many terrorist acts that have been foiled and never come to fruition because our government's so horrible at doing it. Look, guys, I was in the military. And I gripe about the military a lot because sometimes there's asinine things that the military makes you do. But they are very, very good at their job. And the FBI is no real different than them. And just because they screw things up every once in a while or do things you don't like does not mean that they are not, on a whole, making your life better. So, the point of this is, do not support things like Anonymous. It's not doing anything but hurting our cause. Do you think the American government's going to back down now or be less supportive of SOPA or anything? No, all it's going to do is like physics. Every action requires an immediate and opposite reaction. All this is going to do is make the government retaliate with harsher standards and stricter codes. It is just fuel to the fire of why they should push through SOPA. I mean, I don't think that they should, but what I'm saying is the government would look at it like that. So please don't support these things, and don't think that, you know, this is the way to go or this is going to make any sort of real change or anything like that, because it won't at all. All right, everyone, take care. Talk to you later. Ta-ta, adios, and I'm still talking because I have to unlock my phone and press stop. All right, bye, everyone.